Hello and welcome. Today I just want to talk a little bit about turbo roundabouts and how easy it is actually to design them. So what I'm having here is just a black and white picture of one of the blend turbo roundabouts. And what I want to do here is just go into the design guidelines. Pick actually from all of my design guidelines what I'm using just my turbo with 2 axes and 12 meters. This is roughly around 40 feet. Okay. Then I'm just going to generate roundabout and placing my turbo roundabout here in the middle. The next thing is I'm just adding my legs, and with a turbo roundabout it's really important that you are choosing actually the right legs at the first time because of the spirals and really where the people are going into it. So in this case actually I'm using the the southbound at first, my northbound, then the east and westbound. Perfect. The next thing what I'm doing, I just want to switch a little bit my primary axis, and this is 160 degrees. And with this one actually you can see already we are quite similar as the drawing what we had originally. So the next thing what I want to do is just going into my added legs, because as you can see we have here a 2-lane coming in and a 2-lane going out. Because it's a turbo roundabout, it always should have a multi-lane. It's coming in and out. So I'm just clicking on the here. Then here I'm just adding another leg for my internal one. The next thing is here I'm going on the fixed lane width. My median actually is here 16 feet. Sorry, let's make 17. And you can see already it's going better. And here also on the configure entry path radius, I can also change around the different radii to get into it. So here, for example, I'm just using 40 feet, and for the other one I'm using 100, and my lane width I'm just using 12 feet. Perfect. The same I'm doing actually with my exit. So again, going back, I'm just using it like this here, and here you can also configure your mountable curb, for example, if you want to have really that people can go over it, and especially for your trucks. Okay, and that's it. So the next leg is the southbound here. Again, I just wanted to have 2 legs actually getting into it, and again I'm going with my 2 fixed lanes. And I'm going here again with my median width. Looks quite right, but I'm using maybe just 12 and see how it looks like. Perfect. As you can see here, actually we have a different shape for my splitter island. So with this one, actually you can here draw your splitter island. You can also draw a raised splitter island. We can here actually draw a crosswalk into it. And here, when you actually click on here, you can configure your crosswalk offset. So here, for example, our crosswalk is way further up. So let's change this one to 40, for example, and this one also, because they are parallel. And you can see still a little bit. Let's make 30. And you can really see how easy it is actually to change certain elements around. In addition here, when you go configure splitter island, here you can change, and because you can see here we have a little bit of different shape. So you can here, for example, different entry offset, for example, and the exit straight, or you can flip it, for example, or you can even actually have it on both sides. So I'm using this one from our case here, and you can see already how it's changing. Here also you can draw a bypass lane, for example, but also here again when you go on the configure exit, when you here, for example, just click on it, you can allow your inner lane actually to exit it. And again, further, you can change also, your lane width. In our case here with 12. And here, for example, you know, your entry radius and the exit radius for both of the lanes, for example, really do match this case. So you can see just, you know, with a couple of different clicks and modifications, you can really make a nice turbo roundabout. The other thing what I want to show today, and for this ones I already built my roundabout here, and I want just to how easy it is actually also to integrate your access ramp, so your curb ramp, your ADA compliant curb ramp, into your TORUS roundabout, for example. So for this one, all of our products are available in Civil 3D and MicroStation, so all of the products. And again, we have here our nice turbo roundabout. Here we are just going to the design guidelines, so similar actually as you have in TORUS, all of our products are coming with the design guidelines, and I'm just using here Transoft guideline. But you can see here we have all different guidelines from all of the DOTs, including the ADAC and the PROVAC guideline. So when you go here under View, you can see all the different ramp types we are supporting. And for my case, for example, I'm just using today the parallel curb ramp, or yeah, let's take the parallel curb ramp. Here you have all the default values and also the design conditions again. Okay, so with this one, I'm just generating then my curb ramp. And you can see again here, it's the guideline what you can use. You can still go to something else. Also the curb ramp type. Here you have your curb standard. You can still choose, you know, also again different ones. Your curb and gutter, if you have a barrier curb, a curb and gutter, or your mountable curb. And then also your anchor point. So the anchor point is really for that you can, that you know exactly, you know, where you place your ramp. And I'm just using here, for example, my flow line. This I'm just going okay. Just picking my flow line. Here I'm just using at the moment as a fixed elevation. I'm just saying okay. And then I'm saying pick secondary geometry. So this is really, for example, the back of the sidewalk or anything what you have. So I'm just picking it here. And again I'm using fixed elevation. And here you can see automatically it draws you already the ramps. Okay. So you can see here we have a lot of options, grip points, for example, you know, that you can really, for example, in this case, I just want to move a little bit my sockets and my conformity lines out. Okay. In addition, for example, here, again, when I click here, I can just move, for example, my landing a little bit so that it really matches actually my sidewalk. And you can see here all the different, you know, elements, for example, where you can also again change, you know, on how wide you want to have your landing, or also the elevations. And you can see here a couple of red values, and it means actually that your ramp is not yet compliant, actually, really, you know, to fix everything. So again, you can just move them around, for example, and let me just again going under the edit ramp, for example, and you can also change, for example, your angle around here, so that you have it. Maybe you have, you know, some obstacles somewhere where you really want to think about this one differently. I have here already one build, you know, for example, with a short retaining wall there, but with a flare on one side. And again, you know, when you go under edit, you can move also, you know, your landing, making it shorter, and you can see, you know, in your dialog boxes is how all of the different elements are changing, for example. Okay, and this was just a short presentation of AQR. Oh, and the most important part, actually, what I have not showed you, everything is in 3D. So what you can see just here, for example, when you just orbit, you see actually on the ramps, when you have elevations, you know, on how everything is actually tied together and how it is. And I have here, for example, another one here. And for example, you know, how it looks like then actually when you have a surface underneath and with all the different elements. Okay, thank you so much.